Joy for Christmas is certainly a very busy Christmas film. There's a lot going on. That's not to say that it's difficult to keep up with or that it's, chaotic or messy. I think everything kind of ties together nicely, but it is definitely full on. This was released in 2021. It was distributed by GAC Family and it's directed by Pat Williams. And the description from IMDb sums it up really well, and you'll kind of see how many threads there are going on here. There are no spoilers. This says a publicist introduces a famous athlete to the joys of Christmas in the hopes that he will assist her in saving her family's annual charity. There are a lot of things that are completely not connected there, and the film ties them all together. But it does mean that it's not as relaxing a watch as some other Christmas films because I feel like you're constantly, or at least I was constantly having to remind myself of various different aspects. So this publicist is Holly Silver, played by Cindy Busby, and she has a random encounter with Jack Kane, played by Sam Page. And the way they meet is certainly very interesting. I won't divulge it, but it's the first scene, and they meet in a kind of really awkward way. That's quite interesting to watch, but not much else happened as a result of that, and I felt like they put too much emphasis on that introduction and things that were happening around it, and then literally in the next scene, all of that is chopped off, and none of that matters because of the direction Holly has decided to take thereafter. And I just feel like they spent a lot of time making this interesting introduction and then kind of severed it from the rest of the narrative. And I was a little bit disappointed by that. But once I kind of got over that, it was quite interesting. So this famous athlete is Jack Kane, and Holly gets in touch with him and says, look, I know that you have been doing some charity work that hasn't necessarily gone to plan. Maybe you could come and help us and my family's annual charity, which is all about giving to children and raising money for children, and making sure children have toys at Christmas if they come from deprived backgrounds and things. But they are also facing problems and a lack of donations. And I think it's pretty it strikes a strong conversation that both protagonists have worked with charities, or done charitable work, and all of a sudden things aren't going as well as they could have been. And I know it's fiction, it's a fabrication, but it also does beg the question, are we as people doing enough for charity? Or are these charitable causes going to be struggling year on year? And Jack doesn't really want to do this. Obviously, as a famous athlete, he has a name, he could bring in money, he could sell off things, but Holly has a job on her hand and she has to try and convince him to help out in ways that she wants him to, rather than ways that he is suggesting. I will be perfectly honest, Holly as a character annoyed me sometimes. Sometimes she was perfectly fine, I kind of liked her, and there were other times when I felt like she didn't react in ways that I thought was reasonable. And I didn't necessarily buy into her personality completely. Nothing wrong with the way she has acted, with the way the character is performed. I just think some of the way in which the characters' behaviours are written are not that nice to get on with, but not in a way that I feel like they were meant to be showing us the characters' flaws. I just personally didn't agree with them. It's not the most festive Christmas film. It's not full of cheer and Christmas colours and... Well, we do have some Christmas music, actually. Look out for Bob. Absolutely brilliant, played by Wesley MacInnes. Definitely had a lot of fun there. And obviously, because there are a lot of children in this, there's kind of this joy of Christmas. So it's not completely without festivities. But I feel like if you're looking for a Christmas film that will put you in the mood for Christmas, I don't think this one will do the job. So I feel like I'm being quite negative, actually, and pointing out a lot of flaws with it. But at the same time, despite these things that I have identified as areas of room for improvement, I did enjoy it. And I think the reason for that is because it's very sentimental. And also Jack Kane as a character I really liked. He was very easy to get on with. Definitely liked him as our protagonist. I had fun with it. It did choke me up at one point. There were tears in my eyes at one point. It worked very well. Not the best. Definitely room for improvement. But if you're looking for a Christmas film you haven't seen, I'd say Joy for Christmas is definitely one to go with.